The art of sharing, unseen light, guiding souls to receive spiritual insights. In our journey through life, one of the profound mysteries we encounter is the nature of spirituality itself. It is a dimension that transcends the everyday experiences and mundane realities, touching something deep and ineffable within us. However, the very personal and often intangible nature of spiritual experiences can make them challenging to share with others, especially those who might not readily resonate with such concepts. Let's start by understanding why expressing spiritual insights can be complex. Spirituality, by its nature, is deeply personal and subjective. What is transformative for one person might be incomprehensible or even alien to another. This disparity arises not just from differing beliefs or backgrounds, but from the varied ways individuals perceive and connect with the world around them. To share a spiritual insight, first, we must recognize that the process is not about convincing or converting someone to our viewpoint. Instead, it's about offering a perspective that might enrich or broaden how they perceive their own experiences. Think of it as gently placing a lantern in someone's path, a lantern that they can choose to ignite. The effectiveness of sharing these insights often hinges on empathy and understanding. When we communicate, it's vital to meet the other person where they are in their spiritual journey. This requires listening deeply to their thoughts and feelings without judgment. By validating their experiences, we create a safe space where genuine dialogue can occur. Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons. One effective method to facilitate this understanding is through the use of metaphors and stories. These can act as bridges, carrying the weight of abstract spiritual ideas across the chasm of disbelief or disinterest. Have you ever wondered why many of the world's spiritual teachings are filled with parables? It's because stories resonate on a visceral level and can touch hearts in a way that direct explanations often fail to do. Moreover, it's important to be patient and gentle in the sharing process. Spiritual awakenings and insights often occur at a deeply personal pace and can't be rushed. Remember, it's not about the urgency of spreading knowledge, but about the gracefulness in which it is presented and perceived. Consider this. What if the true measure of our spiritual insight isn't how well we can articulate it, but how deeply we understand the needs and readiness of those we wish to share it with? As we move forward, let's explore how we can cultivate sensitivity and adaptability in our approach, ensuring that our spiritual communications are not just heard, but felt and understood. The mirror of understanding, reflecting spiritual truths in a relatable way. In the unfolding of our spiritual dialogues, the art of communication becomes paramount. It isn't merely about the content of what we share, but also about how we share it, adapting our approach to resonate with the listener's heart and mind. One of the first steps in achieving this resonance is to cultivate sensitivity. This involves tuning into the emotional and spiritual state of those we are speaking with. It requires a keen awareness that each individual's life journey is unique, and their current beliefs and perspectives are shaped by a myriad of personal experiences. When we acknowledge this, our approach becomes more compassionate and respectful. Another crucial aspect is the timing of sharing our insights. Just as a seed needs the right season to germinate, spiritual insights need the right moment to be shared. How often have we noticed that the same message can be received differently depending on the timing of its delivery? The art lies in sensing the opportune moment when someone is open and receptive. To enhance our sensitivity, we can engage in active listening. This means truly hearing what the other person is saying without planning our next response while they speak. Active listening not only helps us understand the other person's current spiritual and emotional context, but also shows that we value their perspective. This mutual respect can pave the way for a more open and heartfelt exchange. In addition, let's consider the language we use. The words chosen to express spiritual concepts should be accessible and avoid esoteric jargon that might alienate or confuse. Can we find simpler, more relatable ways to convey deep spiritual truths? For instance, instead of discussing complex theological doctrines, we might share how a particular spiritual practice brings us peace or clarity, making the conversation more about personal experience than abstract theory. Moreover, it's beneficial to encourage dialogue rather than monologue. This means inviting the other person to share their thoughts and feelings about the topic, fostering a two-way exchange. This not only helps in keeping the conversation relevant to both parties, but also allows space for mutual growth and understanding. Now, let us reflect on a crucial question. In our eagerness to share our spiritual insights, are we truly listening to and understanding the spiritual narratives of others, or are we merely projecting our own? The dance of humility. Embracing the evolution of spiritual insights. As we continue our exploration of sharing spiritual insights, we encounter a powerful and essential quality: humility. Humility in spiritual dialogues is not merely about being modest. It's about recognizing that our understanding of spiritual truths is perpetually evolving. This acknowledgement opens us up to a world where every interaction can enrich our perspective, and where we see every individual as a teacher in their own right. Humility also involves acknowledging that our personal experiences and the insights we derive from them are part of a vast, intricate tapestry of human consciousness. No single viewpoint can encompass the entirety of spiritual truth, as truth itself is multifaceted and experienced differently by each individual. When we approach spiritual conversations with this mindset, we're not only sharing but are also receptive to learning and growing through the insights of others. In practical terms, embodying humility means stepping back from the urge to dominate a conversation or to prove our spiritual prowess. Instead, we focus on being present and creating a space where genuine exchange can occur. We admit when we do not know something, and we are open to the possibility that our understanding could change upon receiving new information or different perspectives. Furthermore, humility allows us to approach each conversation without heavy expectations. If our goal in sharing spiritual insights is not about changing the other person's beliefs, but rather offering a perspective for consideration, we reduce the pressure on both ourselves and the listener. This creates a more relaxed environment conducive to deeper understanding. Humility also teaches us patience. Spiritual growth often involves slow and subtle shifts in understanding and perception. Just as we have journeyed to our current level of insight through a process of learning and sometimes unlearning, so too must we allow others the time and space to navigate their spiritual paths. The bridge of empathy. Connecting hearts in spiritual conversations. Empathy stands as a cornerstone in the architecture of effective spiritual communication. It is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another, a skill that not only enhances our interactions but also deepens our own spiritual understanding. When we engage empathetically, we not only communicate our insights but also resonate emotionally with the listener, creating a reciprocal flow of spiritual energy. The practice of empathy in spiritual dialogues involves more than just understanding another person's viewpoint. It requires us to feel with them. This emotional resonance can bridge disparate experiences and beliefs, allowing for a sharing of insights that transcends intellectual understanding. To cultivate empathy, we begin by recognizing that each person's spiritual journey is laden with personal challenges, victories, and revelations. By remembering our own struggles and moments of enlightenment, we can connect more authentically with others. This connection fosters a shared space where spiritual insights can be exchanged with sensitivity and respect. Moreover, empathy allows us to tailor our communication to the listener's emotional and spiritual readiness. It helps us gauge when to offer a word of encouragement, when to share a deeper insight, or when simply to listen. This responsive approach is far more likely to be received openly than one that does not consider the emotional and spiritual state of the listener. In practical terms, applying empathy in spiritual conversations might look like this. If someone expresses a feeling of disconnection or confusion about their spiritual path, instead of immediately offering solutions or advice, we might first share our own experiences of feeling similar emotions. This not only validates their feelings but also gently opens the door to deeper discussions about overcoming such challenges. Empathy also teaches us the importance of silence in conversations. Sometimes, the most profound support we can offer is our silent presence, a space for the other person to express themselves without judgment or interruption. In these moments, our silent empathy speaks volumes, providing a comforting assurance that they are not alone in their journey.